Good evening, everybody out there in social media land. I'm back. Yes. I hope y'all miss me. I miss me. Yes, I was gone for 2 Tuesdays. That's 14 days. I was gone. But not without I'm gonna give y'all an excuse for why I was gone and everything and stuff. But yes, I was gone. It was for good reasons because guess what? This is a medical podcast, right? So welcome on in to Medical Talk in Layman's Terms with Nurse Charlene. And tonight's topic, ha cha cha, is self care for women and men, but also holiday fatigue. Yay! No, it ain't all that, but it's gonna get down tonight and everything. So my biggest thing is let me get my people's on and everything and stuff. But definitely the biggest thing that I wanted to say is make no mistake. I know it's a podcast and it's kind of like the running fad. But what happens when the fad has been running for several years now? Because I have. It was called Let's Talk Medical and everything. And I went on with a dear friend of mine, Pastor Renita Wesson, and she helped me to bring out that teaching nurse in me and everything. And that's how I got started and everything. It was a young lady, and she gave me a chance to develop myself and get my things together and stuff. And so I kind of went from there on and March of this year, the first Tuesday in March, I declared that I'm going to go ahead and step out on faith. Yes, faith, meaning I'm stepping out on God's promises to me. Now, everybody doesn't have to be all super religious or anything, but if you have a God of your understanding, you are barking up the right tree and everything. I believe in God and definitely, and I believe God gave me the willpower and the wherewithal to be able to talk to you, and everything. And tell you some things that if you're not getting that information, where would you go? You would just be stuck in your own understanding of what you think things can be and stuff, or you try to find out, just like me and everything. But welcome on in, ladies. Auntie Josie, she said, hello, everyone. Glad to be back. How is your mother doing? I will be talking about that very soon, Auntie Josie. And then welcome on in, Miss Sandra and T. They said, welcome back, Nurse Charlene from Sandra and T. And we will see you next Tuesday. Okay, that sounds good and everything. And remember, you guys, if you have to miss, because life be life, and I've missed 2 podcasts, and everything. When life be life, and sometimes you do have to miss. But the good thing about this is it's recorded, so it's on simultaneously on Facebook Live for any of my Facebook friends and everything. But it's also on YouTube. And then I'm starting to put the clips together to get it on Instagram and TikTok. And I got another little exciting, I'll wait till I get it done before I share with you another place that I'm going on and everything. So it's going down. It's going down before 2025 is out, I declare. Yes. So welcome on in, you guys and stuff. This is a podcast that only T and only T is gone. Oh yeah, she did have to go to Pinole and stuff, but you're here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you and everything. And hopefully I'll be able to give you guys some good nuggets, and everything. And hopefully you don't have to deal with this, but you might be able to help somebody else out that's under that stress and strain and depression of being expected to do too much, and everything. So as we go on here, as we go on and stuff, I'll definitely get on to that and everything. So before I get started, because I'm so excited, I want to get right in because I'm starting this Tuesday out with a small testimonial which will turn into a guest appearance by no other than my mother. And that's why I was not here and absent and everything. And it was for an excellent, perfect purpose and everything. Welcome on in, Miss Brittany. She said, hi, Mom. Hi, Mommy. Yes, welcome on in, baby. I love you and stuff. Definitely let me do my podcast disclaimer, and then we're gonna go ahead and dig on in. So the podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended to replace professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Not intended. Always consult with your physician for any medical concerns. You know you got to talk to your doctor. Nurse Charlene know a few things, but talk to your doctor. He know everything, or I hope he does. If you have questions about a medical condition, reach out to a qualified healthcare professional. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay seeking it because of something you heard on a podcast, anybody's podcast. Guest views are their own and may not reflect the views of the host, that's me, or this podcast. The information shared is for general knowledge, just to give you a little bit more than you had yesterday. It should not be used for any legal or medical purposes, meaning I can't help you with your lawsuit, you know that. But if you're doing it in good faith, I hope you win. Yeah, that's right. And then also, always consult with a licensed professional who knows your medical history for a meaningful evaluation. And always stay informed, but always seek professional advice when it comes to your health. You want a professional, you don't want no this and that, no fly by night coming to tell you some information on what's going to keep you alive or kill you, you know, and everything. You need the real deal. Okay. So welcome on in, you guys and stuff. I'm so glad to be back. I thought I was going to flip out because I was like, what if I forget what I'm supposed to do? I don't forget. It's too late now. I done figured it out and everything. But definitely just wanted to say, make no mistake, I try to keep it fun and lighthearted and everything. And even this one now and stuff, I don't know if you could see the board because they changed it's called aspects. They gave me a little skinny portrait screen instead of the wide screen that I used to have and everything. So I have to go back in there and figure that out and stuff. So I got to get all techie again and stuff and figure it out. And actually, I'm going to graduate to better things where I'll be able to show you actual screens with different things I want you to see on them so that you see different things and stuff. And it'll help everything kind of flow together a lot better and stuff. And you'll be able to figure out, hey, like, oh, that's neat. Oh, that's what she was talking about or something like that. But I'm going to still keep my little drawings because I feel like they're really nice and everything. You know, I got my people over here. I got some little bands to make her dance. No, I'm just playing. But anyway, some money down here. And it says dollars, right? Bands, thousands and everything. It say bye-bye. So I said the topic is self-care, from a medical perspective, and everything. But also seasonal fatigue, meaning all of it's Thanksgiving, just passed, Black Friday just passed, then you got Christmas, Hanukkah, which is all my little things listed here, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and then you got New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and all of that stuff, all that bundled up in there. The kids ain't going to school. They're going to be out after a while for about 2 weeks and stuff like that. So all this stuff is going around and stuff like that. So that's my main topic. What I did want to do is give you a small glimpse of just letting you know, make no mistake, when I'm on here talking to you and stuff, I know it seemed like, oh, look at her. She trying to, what she got on this time and what she doing this time, and all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, the real end of the day, make no mistake, I'm a registered nurse, licensed registered nurse, active duty registered nurse. For one, I got 2 decades of registered nursing behind me, but 33 years of healthcare behind me and stuff. So there's been the time where I was a medical assistant, when I was a medical office manager, when I was a certified phlebotomist, certified EKG technician, and also a certified nurse's aide, just to name a couple, and everything. And then as a med surge nurse, I was making the nurses laugh at the hospital just recently by telling them that, yeah, I have no identity because I don't know what I am as far as a nurse. I was a bariatric nurse. I was a stroke nurse. I've been a geriatric nurse that's taking care of the older population and stuff. I was able to be a charge nurse. I was able to be a hospice nurse. I was able to, okay, do I need to say anymore? I'm just saying that you're listening to somebody that did something. And I call it this. I learned how to at least open up a package of Band-Aids. Okay. So if that makes sense. So now going back to what I wanted to say. In a quick but not so quick like just dismissive way, because I just want to get this person on to be my guest, and we're going to have a testimonial Tuesday and everything. But to just get started, the last place I worked in my discipline was at Altabase Summit Medical Center in the oncology department. And oncology is the study of cancer and all things cancer and everything. So make no mistake, this is a serious unit to be on, and you got to be up on everything. So what I did make sure that I did was I listen. I'm moldable, and everything and stuff. So even when people may have thought I wasn't listening, I was listening. But June 6, 2025, my mother kept on complaining of her stomach hurting and stuff. Long story short, I was like, I'm gonna take you to the hospital. And she was like, okay. I was like, you want to go to the hospital? What, lady, what's wrong with you? You want to go to the hospital? She said yes and stuff. So make no mistake, my stomach dropped and stuff. It was supposed to be her stomach hurting, but my stomach dropped because I was like, you want to go? I was like, I tried to threaten her, take you to the hospital. And she was like, take me to the hospital. Yeah, I done found out I'm snitching. It's snitching on me. I'm snitching on it. So long story short, we make it to the hospital. By June 13th, June 6th, she was admitted. I'm like, oh my God. They said, oh my goodness. It's a gallbladder. She might have gallstones and she might have to have a gallbladder removed. I'm ready to cry like a baby. That's mommy. That is not no patient and all of that stuff. I'm telling you, it hits different. It hits for the doctor. The doctor has a mommy. The surgeon has a mommy. The nurse has a mommy. The CNA has a mommy. Those housekeepers in the hospital, they have mommies. The CEO and everybody else has, mommies and daddies and all of that stuff. So make no mistake, they said that they want to do some type of surgery and take her gallbladder out. I'm like, oh my God, and stuff like that. But if it has to be done, it has to be done, and everything. It's not, no turning back. By the 13th of June, so we went in on the 6th of June. She's still there on the 13th of June. It was pancreatic cancer, period. They found a mass. I'm a cancer nurse, so yeah, mass means something. Would it take a biopsy? Okay, whatever. When you say mass, you mean mass and everything. So it was something that wasn't supposed to be there, period, and stuff. The long story short of that is it was pancreatic cancer. That's all you guys need to know. It don't have to get real complicated for you. Pancreatic cancer. That's my mom. Okay. So what do I do? How do I act? Because I'm a nurse. Like, Charlene, you didn't know that was happening? I was like, yep. My EKG machine and my X-ray machine and CT scanner, they're all down in my house. So, yep, I didn't know it was happening. Like, okay. But anyway, I'm just saying people be lifing with you, and everything and stuff. So, um, the next thing is, what do I do? I don't understand. Like, okay. I'm a human being. I cry like everybody else and all of this stuff. So, okay, moving forward, July 30th, 2025. So June 13th, 2025, is pancreatic cancer. July 30th, 2025, it's chemotherapy time. That was our first chemotherapy. Um, Chemotherapy is given in cycles. Her particular chemotherapy was given in a cycle of every 2 weeks. That each cycle is 2 weeks and everything. So she had 7 cycles. This is fast forwarding it. 7 cycles. So that's 14 weeks, give or take. It was probably about more like 15, 16 weeks, but that long of chemotherapy. Guess what? The chemotherapy was getting down. It shrunk it. Remember that she just said her stomach hurted. We didn't know what was in there, and everything and stuff. So you see where I'm getting with this. Your body is a snitch. What if I just gave her some Tylenol or a little bit of Pepto-Bismol? Maybe her stomach would have stopped hurting, but we wouldn't have found out nothing, huh? I threatened her with the hospital and she was like, come on, let's go. Okay. So if you following me, you following me. So then 7 cycles of chemotherapy, 2 weeks apart, a piece, each cycle and stuff, coming out to about 15, 16 weeks and stuff almost and everything. So then the moral of that story is she went through all of that, but it's not done. It can wake back up. So then we have to get ready and try to get her built up like Rocky, getting her ready because she has to have surgery. And my mother is 72. Okay. So I have to get her ready for that. But guess what? It's my mommy. So yeah, I'm not ready. I don't know what I'm ready for. Yeah. So the moral of that story is November 20th, 2025, my mother undergone the knife, at Stanford Hospital in Stanford, California. She had a 6.5-hour surgery. And then who got to, sit there and sign all the papers, watch all the anesthesiologists. Yep, we're doing this to your mom. Yep, we're doing that to your mom. Yeah, and stuff. And I understood what they were saying. That's my mommy. See where I'm getting with that? That's still mommy. Okay. Somebody made it. She made it, y'all. My mother is cancer free. And no, it wasn't the surgeon. No, it wasn't the oncologist. No, it wasn't even her herself. It was God. God said so. He get all the credit. I thank him because he opened the eyes of the surgeon. He opened the eyes of the surgical team. He opened the eyes of the cancer center doctors and nurses and different liaisons and everything else and stuff to allow my mother to be cancer free. Whew. So I'm going to say with all certainty, stay tuned, because now we're getting down to business on medical talk in layman's terms with Nurse Charlene. And this is why you have to tell on things when they come to be, because make no mistake, if there was no faith involved, there was no life involved. It would have took her. It would have took her. My mother, I couldn't even see how she could do, but it wasn't for me to see that. As a nurse, I'm like, she's 72, she up in age, she not in a perfect healthy state, and everything. She got all these other things going on the side. And they took that cancer away from my mother. God took the cancer away from my mother in Jesus' name. Okay. So now stay tuned for more on that subject. But I needed to make sure I get that out. Welcome on in, Pastor Carol. She said, it was God. We believe God for her healing. Absolutely. But you know who was more important than us believing? She had to believe God for her healing. And I asked her, you trust him? Just with chemotherapy, we didn't even know what the next steps was and stuff. Just for chemotherapy, do you trust him, Mom? Because we prayed before we even seen the oncologist or the cancer doctor, and everything and stuff. So like I said, you can't play with God. You got to trust him all the way, or don't say it. Don't say it and stuff. So now that I got that out, I'm just letting you know that this podcast is not just a fad, a little here by day, going by evening, and stuff like that. This thing is here to stay and to prove to you guys that God works with the medical field. God opened them as human beings. They got divorces and marriages and deaths in their families and everything else and stuff. But at the same time, because they are human beings, we are all human beings. Ain't nobody better than nobody and all of that, stuff. This is the real deal. It's no joke at all. I'm just saying and everything. Auntie Josie said, God is good. Amen. Absolutely. This is some real deal stuff. We not playing a joke. We not hee hee ha ha. Yeah, this is the real deal and stuff. Pastor Carol said, yes, yes, Lord. That's right. Fire. Yes. And she did. She trusted the Lord. Welcome on in, Miss Kathy. Thank you. This young lady has been praying with us from the start before we even had a diagnosis yet and everything. She told me, go in there and anoint your mother from head to toe. I will never forget that. She said, anoint your mother from head to toe, and you start praying without ceasing. They even they just got tired of us and put a note on the door and stuff and left us alone and let us do what we got to do. You see all these different religions, because mind you, 2 decades of nursing, and I'm looking at people and stuff, and when they have their own little rituals, the Asians have their ritual and the Indians have their rituals and everything and stuff, when they go in and pray, to their gods and the God of their understanding. I don't hate on none of that. I will stay back and assume the position before I sit up there and go and bust in on that, unless I'm planning on praying the same prayer they're doing inside the room. You know what I'm saying? So this, make no mistake, this is the real stuff and everything. But Miss Kathy, she's been there and stuff, and I thank you so much. We thank you as a family and stuff, and appreciate you and the God in you and stuff, and definitely just want to get that out there. And then Pastor Carol said, all glory to God. Absolutely. And amen on that. All glory goes to him. All credit goes to him. He sends his angels out, and all your prayers, we accept and still accept all of them. And thank you, because we know they had something to do with, anytime we are all in agreement with this and stuff, it helps out the whole lot. And everything and stuff. It helps all of us out, because there was appointment after appointment. I thought I was in a Twilight Zone. I was at the doctor's office more than we was at home, and everything and stuff, getting to this point. Oh my God. And everything. Brittany said, God got my granny in Jesus' name. Amen. Love you, Mom. Love you too, baby. And stuff. That's right. Miss Kathy said, yes, he did. God showed up and he showed out. And then, I'm not even being bragging. You could brag on God all you want and stuff. I'll sit there and listen to that and everything. But the biggest thing is she started chemo July 30th, 2025. June 13th, 2025, she was diagnosed. July 30th, which is about a month and a half later, she started chemotherapy. November 20th, 2025, 4 months later, she is cancer free. If it doesn't look like a miracle, maybe it might not be to you, but it's absolutely one that God will not repeat and stuff. And I told my mother like this. I said, "You a walking miracle," because he only had Noah build ark and everything and stuff, and take care of the family and the animals and all of that stuff. That was one time. He's a one hitter quitter. He only rose Lazarus from death. He only saved Jonah from a whale, the whale belly, and prepared the whale for Jonah to not die while inside a whale that swallowed him up. And he still lived. Like, you got to look at all of this. There was only one fight with David and Goliath. David took him out, and stuff. Come on now. I'm just saying. And everything. Make no mistake. God is God. Okay. So now we're going to try to get to some, lighthearted. That was what it was and everything and stuff. But we're going to try to get to some lighthearted things and stuff like that and everything. But just make no mistake. This medical stuff is everything. You better start telling and use your insurance before they take it from you. Pastor Carol said, God gave the surgeon the wisdom and the guided hands to do this. Oh my God. I got so much more to tell you about just a surgeon being the chief of medicine at Stanford Hospital of surgical oncology that worked on my mother, that wanted to work on my mother and do her surgery and did it right. And he was thorough. I got everything. I pat myself on the back, and stuff. You deserve that swag. Dr. Postides of Stanford Medical Center. Yes, sir. You deserve that. But guess who else deserved that? Dr. Nitin Joshi of the Cancer Center. One of his main places that we go to is in Castro Valley, California. He did that. And thanks to his whole team, the whole Cancer Center, shout out to them because they may be watching and everything. Shout out to you guys and stuff. You rock, because they took my mother through all of that. And they pre-medicated her and cancer, it burn and it do this and it do that and stuff. I was ready for everything. I sat there and let them teach me every and anything, any emergencies. So I was ready for it. And everything and stuff. I didn't say that I did it. Remember, God did it because he didn't have to open my eyes up. But make no mistake and stuff. These people, God has his own soldiers in his own fields of study. That's all I'm going to say on that and stuff. But stay tuned because the big testimony with the actual person that went through it is coming. Okay. So tonight's topic, I know that was juicy and I could have went on and stuff, but tonight's topic is self-care for men and women because it's a part of my back to the basics. So mental health is a big deal and stuff. So I'm just going to kind of run through this a little bit and stuff, but just know that this is really important and you could take a couple nuggets. And this is for this is the equal opportunity, meaning it could be man or woman and everything and stuff that we're doing this on. And it's the definition of self-care. Self-care is the practice of taking an active responsibility for one's physical, mental, and emotional health. It includes lifestyle choices, preventative screenings, and healthy habits that maintain wellness and prevent disease. That makes sense, you guys. And then the World Health Organization, that they call WHO, is the ability for individuals, families, and communities to promote health, prevent disease, maintain health, and cope with illnesses with or without the support of a healthcare provider. So there is other ways that you can get your health looked at and screened without actually having a doctor. But you should have a doctor if you got Medicare or Medi-Cal or whatever else, Alameda, Blue Cross, Kaiser, whatever and stuff. You should be getting yourself checked out. Definitely. You work for it somehow and everything. Also, I said this is the mental health aspect. So a part of self-care is your mental health, and everything. Because if your mental health was bad, you probably would neglect yourself. Use the bathroom on yourself, never change your clothes, just, and all of that stuff. So that's all a part of that. So if you have good mental health, you're probably going to be doing good in that area, and stuff of self-care. Mental health refers to a person's emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, act, handle stress, and interact with others. Okay. So we know that somebody hasn't had some mental health around Black Friday when they were shooting at each other and all of that type of stuff going on. So like I said, mental health, because I said that we're doing self-care, but we're also doing holiday fatigue. And that's where that Black Friday and stuff all play a role. So holiday fatigue or holiday stress or seasonal overload. Holiday fatigue is a temporary state of physical and emotional exhaustion caused by increased responsibilities. That means you got to put in double time and overtime and stuff. I got to get all these presents for so and so, and I know they're gonna give me some, so I got to get them a nice gift too, and however that looks and stuff. And even if it doesn't look that way and stuff, somebody is thinking the same way and everything. Also, family demands. Oh, if he don't get that bike for me and stuff, he know our car and broke down and stuff, or she know our car and broke down. She need to get that new car and stuff because this is a lot and everything. Financial pressure. Do I pay the PG&E or do I get that new flat screen TV? Because they only $299 for 895 inch or something like that, and I need to get that. I don't need the PG&E. No, I need the PG&E because that's the only way I can watch the TV. But it can wait, I guess. We'll see if PG&E wait and stuff. Social expectation. So I was invited to this party, and so I got a party I got to go to on Thursday, and then so and so party is on Friday, and then another person is on Friday. So maybe I'll go to this one early and then I'll leave them after a couple hours and I'll go to this other party over here and stuff. And then so got another event and everything. And then Saturday I got 3 events. So I got to go from their house to the other people's house to the other people's house. And my husband, he got his family and they all really act like we're stuck up and stuff. So I'm going to have to go over there and blah, blah, blah. Travel. Oh, look, I'm in what is it? I'm in Quebec or something and stuff. I'm just having me a good time. I'm up here in Russia doing a Russia thing and stuff, happy holidays, y'all. Me and my family up here. We're gonna be in debt. but we traveling. Look at us. We got selfies. Hey, look at us. Hey. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. And stuff. Disrupted sleep and routine. If I gotta be at this one, when I'm gonna get a nappy in and stuff, like shoot, I'm gonna be tired and stuff, and then I gotta drive back, and I can't drink because if I drink at this one, then I might crash trying to get to this one, and this and that, and okay, and stuff, and then weather changes. Ooh, it's colder than two polar bears out there. The polar bears even said, "Boo," and stuff like that. Yeah, oh, it's raining. It feel like it's gonna snow. It's hailing. Look at the wind blowing and whatever and stuff. Oh, it's only 5 o'clock and it's dark. It looked like it's midnight, or something. You know what I'm saying? So all of that going on, and then also, Big Mama ain't here and stuff. So the Christmas ain't gonna be the same because she used to make all her little food and I stay up and help her and stuff. And now she ain't here. Granddaddy ain't here, and he used to all give us all silver dollars and stuff. And he was so good to us and stuff. He used to always give us money and all of that. And then grandma in the kitchen cooking and stuff like that. And now they gone. It ain't gonna even be the same. I don't even want to celebrate no holidays. Or you see what I'm saying? So these are all the causes of being sad and everything. But I got another one for you guys so that y'all really under this, thing. Holiday fatigue is not a medical diagnosis, but you show act the part, and stuff sometimes and everything. But it can trigger or worsen mental health. So even though it's not a medical diagnosis, it can trigger mental health because you got your Thanksgiving that just passed and everything, and then you got Black Friday, which after you fill up on food, then you got to go in the middle of the night and go stand at the store and knock some old lady over and steal her little toaster oven that's only $10 out of her hand and all of that stuff, and all while stepping on her back and her head and stuff, and moving on to the next thing and stuff. They did it, not you, of course, and stuff like that. But all of that, and then this holiday fatigue stuff, it starts messing with your mental health. It gives you anxiety, depression. I think I was depressed a little bit because I was like, dang, we sitting in the house. I didn't get no Black Friday. I didn't even get a balloon or nothing and stuff. I could have used a little balloon and a soft blanket. No, I don't need a soft blanket. I got about 500 soft blankets. Y'all can come get one for a Christmas present. But the whole point I'm trying to make is, yeah, just that thought, because it was like it's like what is that? I don't know. I'll come back to it. But anyway, Brittany says Granny is on the line with me, mommy. Okay, amen. Because her phone had 10% on it, so she wasn't gonna get through this podcast. And then Brittany said, love the board. Just read it. Yes, that's you on the back right there. Talking about you got bills. You ain't got no bills. But anyway, going back to what I was talking about and stuff. There's also a thing called SAD. It stands for this thing called seasonal affective disorder. And then there's also burnout. And these are all part of holiday fatigue. So the cause and risk factors of it is that financial strain of buying gifts. You got a bunch of kids and stuff, and everybody want a bike, and stuff like that. So you got to have gifts and travel and then food and stuff. Do you make the spread, or does somebody else make the spread, or do this happen or that happen and stuff? Those are all factors contributing to, oh my goodness, and everything. Unrealistic expectations. Like, yeah, we don't need 135-inch TV and stuff like that. Not yet, and stuff. We're not that blind. You could go to the movies if you want 100 and something screen, 100 and something inch screen, or something like that, 200-inch screen and everything. But that, and then overcommitment to parties. Yeah, you can't make it to every single person party, and it's all up and down the road, and then it's the drunk person on the road and stuff. They might kill you before you get to the other party and stuff like that, but you tried it anyway. Sleep disruption. You're just going and going and going and going and not taking the time out to do self-care. alcohol overuse. If you had some eggnog at this one, then you have some eggnog at this one, then you have your little bit of eggnog and brandy at this one. After a while, you might be loaded, and stuff like that. So just thinking about that. And then it's also the loneliness and grief of, maybe a person is widowed or something like that. And, it's different things and different reasons for you to be lonely. And, that's still a thing and everything. And then the one I said, SAD, seasonal affective disorder, it's caused from reduced sunlight. So you only get that little sunlight first thing in the morning and stuff, and then it's gone. It's just nighttime, and it's only 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the evening, and it's pitch black outside like it's 10 or 11 o'clock at night. So you don't get enough day in the day, and stuff like that, and it causes a problem mental health wise. So you got to just be aware. You're not going crazy. You're dealing with that, and everything. It's a thing. And then other things is work deadlines, end of year pressure. They want you to be all perfect and stuff. All year you've been skating by and stuff, and it's already almost impossible. And then now they got all these deadlines, and you got to be on the phone. So you're gonna see the phones increase. They're gonna be calling you, tearing you up, trying to tear your ear off and stuff to give you this deal and that deal so that they could get all their stuff out, and everything. And it's tough. But the importance of or the benefits of self-care, it prevents chronic diseases. To go and get your screenings on time, get your blood pressure checked. Everybody don't have to be a nurse to go and get your blood pressure checked. Go and have those colonoscopies if that's something that you got to do. Go to have those women pap smears, men prostate checks and everything and stuff. That's your check and balances and stuff. If you keep on skipping them, after a while something gonna show up and you ain't gonna like it. I don't care, man or woman. If you keep skipping them, I skipped them before, then they see something and you like, hey, what's up? Oh, okay. now you want to show up to all of them and stuff. Don't let them scare you. Just already be ready and just go get it done and everything. And then there's the benefit of self-care. It enhances, that means it makes better the quality of life and the quality of when you pass. If you're always on time getting them checks and stuff, and this means the dentist too, because you got to chew at something, and then if they all falling out, got you and stuff, you got to deal with that and stuff. So we got to be real about this. Let's be real with ourselves and real with what's going on and stuff like that and everything. So getting your body checked, getting things checked out and everything. Then there's the benefit of reducing your healthcare costs. You're not hospitalized for some tedious thing because you never got checked out or something, or you catching something at the end stage, whether it's kidney failure, it could be anything, cancer, kidney failure, or anything else and stuff. You catching it at the tail end when they can't do anything else for you and stuff, instead of just telling on it early so that you could get it out the way and move on with the next part of your life. So it does enhance the quality of your life because you're not suffering. Oh, I got a headache every day. And then you find out it's something that you don't really want. But yeah, if you don't find out, it's going to take you, before you even get to that point, and everything. So yeah, just try to be vigilant. Care about yourself a little bit more than that. A little more than you did yesterday, and stuff. That's all I'm asking and everything. And that's why I'm on here. And then so key components of self-care. So I'm gonna give you a category, example, and its importance medically. So a category: physical health. Examples of physical health would be nutrition, exercise, sleep, your hygiene, showering, bathing, and all of that stuff, and hydration. You got to drink old nasty water. Ugh, water. It just tastes like water. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's an example of your physical health. You got to hydrate, or you're going to have some rocks in that number two. You know what that is. Rocky boo boo and everything. But the medical importance, it maintains body's functions, it reduces chronic diseases and the risk for them. So if I'm drinking water, I'm probably urinating or pee-peeing very well. So then guess what? I don't have to worry about my urinary tract being messed up or something like that because I'm getting it in there. But sometimes we don't. I've been guilty of it. I'm a human being. Guess what? I didn't always do right. But at least I'm on here telling you. And so another what is it called? The component or the category. Okay, yes. The category is mental health. Examples of mental health would be stress management, mindfulness of your body and taking care of it, and feeling that need to go to the doctor when you have to. Don't keep on putting it off. You only get one you. Nobody else coming out acting like you and stuff but you. But while you're doing that and stuff, that social connection and everything and stuff, that's your mental health and stuff, being able to maintain healthy relationships with people. And then the benefits of it medically is it prevents anxiety. If you already are used to going to the doctor, my doctor told me I had this. He told me I had pre-diabetes. Well, now we can work on how to reverse pre-diabetes and you go back to no diabetes at all. Pre-diabetes just means you're knocking on the door. Diabetes gonna let you in unless you reverse it. Okay. Guess who had pre-diabetes? Had. That's the key word. So that means that I had to do something, huh? Okay, that's all I'm saying. So no judgment, just facts and stuff. Category, preventative health. That's going to the doctor. These are examples. Going to get those health screenings, that blood pressure check, that free blood pressure check, that free diabetes check, and all those other things. Regular checkups with the doctor. I got to go get my annual this and my annual pap smear, my annual prostate exam, for the men and stuff like that. I got to go get my so-and-so and such and go to the doctor and get my ears checked, my eyes checked, see if I need glasses, and all of that stuff. That's all a part of preventative because they saying preventing blindness by just getting your eyes checked. Or prevent or find out that you got diabetes because they always blurry, they always giving you trouble, so they give you some glasses, but now you got to go to the doctor and get your diabetes checked out and everything. So then early detection is disease prevention. If you detect it early, you can already start curving and turn the corner on it and fixing it so that you can do better and feel better and everything. So that's where that one comes in. And then there's a category of lifestyle choices. Examples of it is avoiding tobacco, smoking cessation, or trying to cease on smoking, vaping, that's all included, and actually marijuana with that tobacco leaf wrapping your weed up. Okay. And then limiting your alcohol. If you used to drink this much, coming down a little bit on it. You don't have to just perfectly stop, and there's no judgment, but coming down on it, and stuff. Limiting how much. You don't need all of that, and stuff. And anytime that you're drinking to the point where you're the one stumbling out the club and you're laid up, pissy drunk outside, somewhere or something like that and stuff, that's probably the one that needs to slow down the most and stuff, because it's something else mental wise but also physical wise, you can't handle it anyway, or you would know where you're at, and somebody could take advantage of you and hurt you in such ways that you never come back out of it, and everything. Also, guess what? But don't sleep on it. Lifestyle choices, safe sex. Not I want every kind I could get, and stuff, but actual safe sex. When you're doing it, you do it responsibly. If you're gonna get it, and stuff, and do it, and everything and stuff. So practicing safe sex, it can lead to unwanted pregnancies for the woman and man, and stuff, but it also can lead to sexually transmitted infections and everything else. So safe sex, if you're gonna do it, and that's your choice and stuff, at least do it with a little bit more dignity, instead of I'm in her, I'm in her, I'm in her, I'm in her. I want some of this kind and that kind, or the woman, I want him. Oh, he cute. I want that. I want that. Okay. If you want it all, you can have it all and stuff, but you get what comes with it and stuff. And that's another story. And then there's maintaining a healthy weight. This is so funny and stuff. Just recently, because of my mother and her situation and me dealing with that, I was sitting up there fighting with the insurance people. They kept denying me. They said I couldn't have one of them weight loss shots, and I was like, "Well, I can't have one." And this and that. And this. Guess what? I'm so glad. Thank you very much. You know who you are in La La Land and stuff. Thank you very much for turning me down. I lost it on my own. It's called worry. It wasn't healthy, so don't do what I did. But it came off. My pants got a lot looser. I don't like it that much, but I'm getting used to it. It makes my feet feel better and stuff. So I said I'm human. I said I'm human. Okay. So then one more. The category is environmental and safety self-care, and that would be examples would be home safety, making sure all you got a safe home, and that your doors locked properly and stuff like that. Nobody's breaking in around there, or you're aware of your surroundings and people in your nearby houses and stuff like that, or apartments and stuff, that everybody's safe. Also, every time you get in a car to drive anywhere, even around the corner, that you're putting your seatbelt on. And then also, this is when we sleep on, and stuff. I'm already dark skinned. What can it do? What can the sun do to me? It can give you skin cancer. Yeah, ever get on down and stuff, and to give you a little bit of skin cancer, even on your dark skin, and everything and stuff. So you do need to actually go out and put on the sunscreen, SPF 50 or above, and everything. You need to have that on, because it's going to save your life in the end, in the long run. And what it does is putting on that seatbelt prevents accidents that could be worse, like you flying out of the car and 30 yards down or something like that, or for the SPF 50, preventing skin cancers, if that makes sense and stuff. So these are things that I think we should focus on, definitely, and stuff. And that's because if this is the holidays and everything and stuff. And remember, we, like I said back here and stuff, we got Thanksgiving that just passed and Black Friday that just passed. That was just one of many. Then you got your holidays. You got your Hanukkah, you got Kwanzaa, you got Christmas, you got New Year's Eve, you got New Year's Day, and all these things to kind of get through. And they're all within about a month of each other, because we already started this December 2nd. So if you can understand that, welcome on in, Mr. Buckner. That's my dad, y'all. He says, Charlene, we all need to be reminded of these things. Exactly, and stuff, because they're going to help you in the long run, so that you can find out that you don't really have to shop on Black Friday and buy the 1,000-inch flat screen TV. Yeah, you could settle for a 75-inch and you could still get the same little movie effect. Get you some surround sound. It sounds just like the movies and stuff like that. But you don't have to knock an old lady over for the air fryer either, and stuff getting on in there. I always say the old lady because they be trying to get out there and get their little stuff too. Like, oh, I'm gonna get a toaster for so and so or something. And that tends to happen and everything. Welcome on in, Michelle. Good to see you here. Thanks for coming on. We're talking about self-care for the man and the woman, and then also holiday fatigue. Like all your holidays, all this stuff going on, like what is it? Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, what is it? New Year's Eve, New Year's, they're all a thing, and stuff. They just keep coming and coming and coming. And all them kids that want 900 toys under the tree and stuff. And it's like, I'm not going to tell y'all what I did. No, I'm going to tell you what I did and stuff. If you don't have enough to get all of them, get one good solid gift for the kids, or the families or that household or something like that and stuff. But also, if you want to do like I did, I found out how to be cheap, but it sure be looking pretty and stuff. And I will wrap up a box empty just to make it look like I got more presents under the tree. Don't judge me. That tree be pretty. It be fine. It be fine. Y'all gonna see it on social media and stuff. But I mean, if you can't do it, and stuff, you could get on down and stuff and get you a few quality gifts. Make sure that you put some thought into it. All kids don't need 850 toys and stuff, as I'm finding out with twin grandsons. They 3 now and stuff. I'll buy them anything. But anyway. And stuff. I had to make a pact with their parents, my children's, that I will not be buying them 17 pianos, 36 guitars, and just all them toys and stuff, because somebody and them has to clean that up at the end of the day. They can't even get to all of them because everybody is like, oh, they so cute. Let me just get them a toy. Let me go get them 15 of these toys. Okay. And then everybody start learning how to get them the learning toys, but it's only so much they can learn. Sometimes they just need a good old fashioned flashcard set or something like that and stuff. So I'm learning by trial and error, and stuff, that no matter how cute and adorable I think them little boys is and stuff like that, at the end of the day, sometimes they just need good old-fashioned granny love. And they actually accept it and give me kisses and all of that type of stuff. Ooh, I just want to buy them about 1,000 toys, and I'm not. But I will get them something and everything. And saying all that to say that it happens, and our kids are so adorable and all of that stuff. You want to get them the whole wide world? Don't get them the whole wide world. They won't even remember half of them, and everything. And you're in debt, and that credit card is through the roof. And Dad said, nothing wrong with it. It ain't nothing wrong with it necessarily, but you want to kind of curve it and stuff. They don't need 50 toys and stuff. They just need about 2 or 3 good ones. Good hitters, and stuff, whatever it might be and stuff. They don't need all them toys. And the rest of it is the stuff you would have bought anyway, like some thermals, because it's ice cold out there and they can put them on under their clothes, their school clothes and stuff like that. Get them something like that. Let it be practical. Even for the, your loved ones, the older ones and stuff, they don't like being left out and stuff. I know they want the iPhone 87. You might not be able to get the iPhone 87, but you get them a nice little 17, 18 and stuff like that, and everything. But make it within reason and stuff so that they know that they had to work for it and stuff. Because I'm like, if you get them every single thing, they turn into mean people. because they expecting it now. They don't care how you sacrifice, how many doubles you worked, how many overtimes you put in, and all of that stuff to get them a toy or something that they just gonna throw down and break or something like that, or they can't even tell you they love you every day and stuff, but they're getting a $10,000 gift or $1,000 phone or something like that and stuff. So, you know, just let's start staying within our means, because it'll help out so much better. But also, you need to be alive to actually give them that, or give them the 150 gifts that you're gonna give them and stuff anyway, you know, and everything and stuff, if that's your choice. But just remember, there's a thing called debt and bills, and they be like, yeah, give me my present, pay the amount due on that water bill, pay the amount due on that mortgage, on that rent, pay the amount due on that PG&E bill. Yeah, they want their present too. They want you to put something in that little box and stuff. So, you know, they asking for their presents. They got their hand out like, hey, forget your kids, forget your family, and don't be buying all that food and stuff. Pay me. You want to cook, don't you? Because that's what PG&E say. Oh, you want to cook and stuff? Well, you get on down and pay me what you owe me and stuff. So I'm saying all of that to say, in my own little way and stuff, because I said it's holiday fatigue / you know, picking between how many gifts do I get? Do I get 15 sweaters or 10 Old Navy pajama sets, or do I actually pay my PG&E bill, my car note, my car insurance, you know, or so on and so forth, my life insurance? Or do I get everybody their little Bed Bath and Beyond, or whatever it might be, you know, and stuff. So with that in mind and stuff, I'm just saying, you know, we got to be practical, because this is hard. And guess who had problems with it? But guess who spent and shopped till they dropped and was just almost livid and irritated with it? And then I got to wrap it all up for them to, on Christmas Day, rip all of that stuff off, and it's paper everywhere. It's filling up the garbage can that I got to pay the bill on, you know, and so on. Yeah, I'm just saying. Okay, so then I like to do this myth versus facts, and then I'm going to leave y'all alone and everything. So one thing about self-care. Self-care is selfish. That is a myth. Taking care of yourself improves your ability to care for others. So if I want to care for my mother and properly take care of her, which she is home with me since the day before Thanksgiving, after having a 6.5 hour surgery and all of that type of stuff, I had to take care of me and do some self-care on me and eat and all of that, so that I can properly watch my mother and take care of her. Because you can't just come in there willy-nilly. You're going to mess something up, you know, and everything. Make no mistake and stuff. So that's one. And then another myth. It's just spa days and vacation. Self-care is not just spa day and vacations. True self-care includes dieting, you know, proper diet, rest, exercise, and medical checkups, going to your doctor and getting yourself checked out, especially before the year ends and everything. A myth. Men don't need self-care. Y'all men don't need no self-care. Shoot, men face high rates of preventable heart disease and suicide. Suicide, y'all. Suicide. Men. Because they don't give themselves enough self-care. They the provider. He better get out there and work and stuff, because my kids need this, and I want this, and I want a house, and I want a boat. And yeah, they are human beings too. And they can actually die, and then they can leave the whole family suffering because you depended on that one person. But God got to open their eyes at the end of the day, you know, and stuff. So yes, they try to provide all they can and everything and stuff, but actually they got feet that hurt, They got backs that get strained and hurt. They necks hurt and stuff like that. They, things go wrong with them, just like the women and everything. So it is important that they do self-care. So that is a myth, you guys. Also a myth. I'm healthy, so I don't need no checkups. I'm always healthy. What you got, a stethoscope on you? What you got? What skills you got? What degree you got in medical? That you healthy and you know that you healthy. You got an x-ray machine at home? Can I know where you live so I could go x-ray myself sometime? But anyway, fact. Many diseases like hypertension or diabetes have almost no symptoms, except for what I told you guys about earlier in the other podcast and stuff, that there's the 3 P's of diabetes, which is polyuria, which is excessive peeing, polyphagia, excessive hunger, want to eat all the time, 3, 4, 5 seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths, and stuff like that, and polydipsia, which is excessive thirst. Oh, I drink water and stuff. I don't know why they think I would have a disease or diabetes or something like that and stuff. I drink heck of water, but you're excessively thirsty, so something is not working. Something is not connected in your body. That's a symptom. That's a snitch. Okay. And so practical self-care strategies for both men and women. Eating well-balanced diets, and stuff. Limiting how much processed foods. I just talked to my daughter-in-law, Lorelai, earlier about this and stuff, and limiting our processed foods and stuff. And they're in anything that's lazy, and you can't cut up vegetables and put in there and chop up this and chop up that in there and stuff, is a processed food. Most likely, it's probably about a 99% chance that it's processed food if all you have to do is throw it in the microwave. Yeah. Easy food is processed food. I'll just put it like that. And it's probably cheaper food and everything than cutting up your vegetables and putting them in something and making it that way, the long way. Getting 150 minutes of moderate activity a week. That means it could be counted in as your shopping and going back and forth, your laundry, going back and forth to the laundromat or up and down the stairs to your washer and dryer and stuff like that. Those are all counted as an activity and stuff. So don't sleep on that and stuff. Going back and forth to work, walking up and down the hallways or walking in and out and stuff, and picking up this and carrying that and stuff like that. That is a part of your activity and everything. But anybody that's sitting and having a sedentary lifestyle, they don't move from the couch or they don't move from the bed, and everything and stuff, it's a problem. Staying hydrated, 6 to 8 glasses a day. You know what a glass is? I thought it was like I got to drink all them water bottles, 6 or 8 water bottles. No, it's 2 glasses in a water bottle. It's 8 ounces. The water bottle is 16 ounces, and stuff, one water bottle. So if you're drinking a couple of those liter ones, or you're drinking one to 16.9 ounces and stuff like that, that's 2 glasses of water in there. So it's not that hard. They're not telling you to drink 86 gallons of water and stuff. They're telling you 6 to 8 glasses or 4 of those water bottles or 2 of the big bottles, and stuff. It probably got about 3 glasses in one of those liter bottles and stuff like that. So you're on the right track and stuff if you're already doing this stuff. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's not that, it's not that difficult, and stuff, to get that water in. Also, sleep. They talking about 7 to 9 hours and stuff. I'll be happy with about 6 to 7 hours or something like that and stuff when I can. But 7 to 9 hours, you're doing great. We're not going to get 7 to 9 hours, but we'll get somewhere pretty close. Just try to strive for close to it. Avoiding smoking and limiting alcohol. So avoiding smoking, like trying to stop. Not just all at once, but slowing down until you can stop. Nobody told you you just had to go cold turkey. Boom, it's over and stuff. Take your time, like you took your time to develop the habit of having so much and everything and stuff. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't judge yourself so hard and everything. It's not that. It's not. It's serious, but it's not that bad and everything. You can do it. Practicing stress reduction, like meditation. Learn how to meditate. Actually paying attention to calm and stuff. They got these little things, and you can listen to the ocean waves and different things. Journaling. This is something I got to start. I've been told this so many times for so many years and stuff. The journaling might lead to a book and being able to write your book and everything and stuff. So being able to journal is good. You know, taking those walks, those nature walks and stuff, and just really looking at the trees, looking at the sky, you know, and stuff when you can. If it's too cold and stuff, just a quick brisk walk, you know, outside and around the corner and back, you know, and stuff. You might not could get to the nature, but get to something and everything. And then setting your boundaries. This is something that I have trouble with, but I'm gonna have to start doing and stuff. And it's no is a complete sentence. No. Okay. Y'all practice this. No. Okay. It's actually a thing to help benefit your mental health. No. N-O. It's a complete sentence. That's what they say. Okay. What else we got? Plan realistic schedules. Get your calendars out. I was just talking to my daughter-in-law about this, Lorelai and stuff. She gonna crack up when she sees this because I was talking. We were talking about really actually putting a schedule together. I would not have got through my mother's chemotherapy and all the sessions and all the doctors she had to go to and all the endocrinologists and all these different things and all these CT scans and PET scans and blah blah scans and blah, whatever and blowing bubble scan and all of this stuff. We wouldn't have got to nothing if I didn't start writing the stuff down on a actual calendar in the living room so everybody can see. Yep, we're not here. No. You know what I'm saying and stuff. And then also taking that break to avoid burnout. Well, it's too late. My break was losing all this weight and stuff. But I'm saying, you know, and stuff, taking that time to get some woosah, to get those hours in and be greedy about it and stuff and get you those few hours of sleep and stuff. Those all count as something towards your mental and physical health and stuff. It's not being lazy. It's preserving yourself so you can be around to be a help to others. Eating regularly and staying hydrated. Remember I said bottled water, 16 ounces, that's 2 glasses. They want 6 to 8 glasses. So that means 4 bottled waters. You start off in the morning with one, and then you hit one in the afternoon, like early afternoon, and then you hit one in the late afternoon, then you hit one for evening, and then, if you want to be fancy, hit you one more before bed, and stuff. It's okay. You're rinsing out your body of all the toxins, all the stuff you put in that's bad for you. You getting some of that out. And Auntie Josie did say that about, putting ice in your soda and stuff like that. But I told her, better than ice in your soda, chill a soda and drink that, if that's what you like, and everything. It takes time and stuff. But drinking that bottled water after it to match it. Even me. The reason why I told her that is because that's what I had to do. You see, now you catch it. Okay. All right. So then take home message, and then I'll be done after 2 weeks of leaving you guys for a minute. But for good reasons. Y'all heard it already and everything. And that is self-care is health care. Let me repeat that one more time. Self-care is healthcare. Taking small, consistent actions towards your well-being is more powerful than waiting for the illness to appear. Okay? Prevention is always better and cheaper than the actual treatment. Now I got it. Now what I got to do? Okay. Self-care looks different for everyone. Find what works for you. I can't tell you that, girl, I just go and I just give me a whole bunch of strawberries and have me a strawberry shortcake. That might not be your thing and stuff. So it can't be what I do for me. I like to paint, and stuff, do the little acrylic painting and different things like that and stuff. I like to make jewelry and stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and stuff like that. I like jewelry. I like painting. I like creativity. That's what calms me down. It might not be for you, but there is something for you, playing darts, going to the sports bar, but not even having a drink, or eat the processed food, but just going there and hanging out and chilling with your folks, and stuff like that. That might be your thing, or so on and so forth, and stuff. Find what works for you, and there will be some that works for you. Okay. So then there is, what else did they say? Don't wait for burnout, pain, or disease to start caring for your body and your mind. Don't wait until you hate the job so much that you can't even pick yourself up to go back, and you get fired because you can't even go back because you're so burnt out, you're so sick of them, or sick of this, or sick of that, or whatever it might be, and everything. Don't let your pain get so bad because this is the main thing. I was talking about it earlier before I got on and stuff. If you're in pain and you take Tylenol, I just need you guys to know this. This is very important before I get off. Tylenol doesn't heal you. I'm sorry, Tylenol. Tylenol doesn't heal you. It stops the pain, a symptom of pain sometimes. It can, and everything. Also, if you have a fever, Motrin or Tylenol, sorry Motrin, sorry Tylenol, they don't heal you, but they can stop a symptom. They can stop a snitch from snitching. But, okay, so we're going on with that. So, my feet are hurting, my lower back is hurting, it's just aching. I think I pulled something and everything. I'm gonna go take an Epsom salt bath. Guess what? Epsom salt doesn't heal you. Sorry, Epsom salt people. It doesn't heal you. It slows down the symptom. It may stop the pressure and pain when you soak. But this is my one question. Why did you have a fever? Why are you in pain? Wherever it might have been that you took that Tylenol or Motrin or Aleve or whatever it was for. Why is your lower back hurting so bad that you just can't take it no more and you need to sit down and take a soak? Why are your feet hurting? Have you been to a doctor to see if there's something happening? Because I walked on my tippy toes for 2 months, and everybody's like, why are you not stepping down on your feet? And I said, it feel like shards of glass coming up through them and stuff. And I found out that I didn't just have plantar fasciitis, which they say is very common, but it goes away. Mine didn't go away. So what did I have? What kind of new mutation of plantar fasciitis did I have? Oh, it's called neuropathy, nerve damage. But I'm upright and I can walk a whole block or two. So the moral of the story is, before you just take the medicine to mask the symptom, actually ask yourself, what might else be wrong with me before I take this Tylenol or something? Now, if you took the Tylenol, but you know that you suffer from migraines or something like that, that's one thing. If you took the migraine medicine and everything because you get migraines from this, and stuff. But why did you get the migraines? If you find that out first, you know, and stuff, because it could be work stress or anything and stuff. So what I'm trying to do is get to the point where I'm saying to you, why? Because now I'm going to go back to the beginning of the podcast, which you guys, if you haven't seen it and stuff, go back and watch the replay and stuff. This is an excellent podcast because I started off with a testimonial of why I haven't been here for 2 weeks with you guys, and it was because of my mother. But remember what I said in the beginning. For anybody that was on from the beginning, I said that my mother kept complaining about her stomach hurting. I'm a nurse, so what can I have easily did? Gave her a little Pepto-Bismol, but it wasn't gonna heal it. But it might have stopped the whatever that symptom was. I could have gave her Tylenol. It's not gonna heal it, but I could have stopped her from complaining about that. What else could I have did? I could have gave her Alka-Seltzer. I could have gave her a stool softener, you know, or something like that, because I'm a nurse, you know. So I could have gave her all these things, this, and prolong this. And then we find out 2 or 3 months later, you know, something else. This one time I said, okay, your stomach hurting, you know. Hey, what if I take you to the hospital? She said, okay. I was like, oh, yeah, you want to go to the hospital? Yeah, something wrong and stuff. And we found out it was a whole cancer trying to come alive. And it's gone. It's gone. So I'm going to still say that at the end of the podcast. It's gone. But what if she didn't think to tell on herself? Because my business, you know, if you could see right here in the white under Nurse Charlene on the screen, it says CEO of what? Your body's a snitch, believe it. So guess what? She believes that her body is a snitch. So when I said, I'm going to take you to the hospital, she was like, take me to the hospital. It hurts that bad, basically. And then what if we didn't find out? What if I just gave her something and shut her up? And then we find out later. Or what if you're not even medically inclined and you don't even know to look at one of these podcasts like the one that I'm doing right now, and something happens and you don't even know that all I had to do was take her to the hospital, because early prevention or early detection, even not being scared of it, you got to go find out what's happening, because when you don't find out, then you'll find out later and it's too late. My mother could have been one of those, because they said, you know, 1 to 8 probably wouldn't even survive or even be a candidate for her surgery of pancreatic cancer and stuff. And so not only was it only a 2% chance that she would even been able to be operated on, let alone survive it at 72. A 6.5-hour surgery. Am I playing here, you guys? Yeah, I'm not playing. I'm living it. I'm lifing it and stuff. So I'm saying all of that to say, when I give you these subjects and everything and stuff like self-care, it sounds kind of dull and blah, 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 or whatever and stuff, but it's everything. You got to take care of yourself. I said you only get one of you. Ain't nobody going to act like you. Ain't nobody going to be able to do what you do and stuff like that. It's only you do it the way you do it, because you is you and everything. So at the end of the day, you guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you that took a little time out your evening on Tuesday to do this. I know a lot of people had to go and everything, but y'all that have to go or already left and everything, come on back and watch the replay. It'll be on and available. And anybody that left messages or comments and everything, I do go back and read them and everything, and then I answer them. Sometimes I don't go back right away because I got a little bit of life to do after I get off of here, but I will go back and answer them, and you can gladly just take a peek at them and stuff and see what I said and everything. But at the end of the day, this is you, and you only get one of you And another thing is your body is a snitch, believe it. And I am streaming currently from Facebook Live and simultaneously with YouTube under Medical Talk in Layman's Terms with Nurse Charlene. And on Facebook, I'm under Charlene Nurse Allen. And that's basically my name, but nurse is not my middle name and everything. But a nurse is what I am, and it's okay. And at the end of the day, if you don't take care of you or your loved ones, who gonna do it and everything? But I'll tell you one thing: if you got that higher power, he gonna meet you wherever you at, and he gonna ride through it with you, because he rode through it with me and my mommy and my family and everything. So thank you guys for coming on. I'm gonna come back with the best little next topics that I can think of that I know will benefit you at the end of the day and everything. And I appreciate you. And Auntie Josie said, thank you for all the good information. Love you for taking out time to educate us. Have a great night. And you do the same, my dear. Love you. And love everybody on here. Thank you for getting on. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your hellos and everything else. It just encourages me to just keep on coming back. And if I help one, I helped everything I needed to do. So my job is covered and everything. But thank you. And y'all take care. And remember, your body is a snitch. Believe it. Okay? All right. Yes.